They just work to keep the boundary in line.
Right. And as far as a boss goes for this group of men, which I feel like Chase is at the head of,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
they only pledge allegiance to one person. And that just so happens to be...
the one true seeker.
That's right. Super convenient that your bestest bud in the whole world just happens to be the seeker.
Yeah. Ultimately, they only follow the one true seeker, though, because his cause is the same as theirs. It's to hold back the boundary, the Underworld.
Right.
And Chase pledges his life to protect the seeker at this point.
So now he has 3 people who have pledged undying allegiance to him.
And he's like, yes, building an army.
Well, you're 3 people deep, and that's more than I got, so you're doing pretty well. Plus, you have the magic sword, and up until recently, a ninja cat, which can't hurt.
Right.
He's doing pretty well.
They all sit down and basically tell Chase the entire story that we've told you guys so far.
Right.
In this podcast.
All of the chapters leading up to right now. My favorite part was that Chase laughed so hard he had tears in his eyes when they were telling him about Zed with the disappearing dicks. I thought that was fucking great. A guy like Chase really got a kick out of a story like that.
Can you imagine, though, you and Zed? Because Caitlin's not there anymore at this point. So they don't have to have, like, the sensitivities of men around women not being vulgar. I don't know. I don't know how dudes talk. So that's what I imagine dudes sound like when they're being vulgar, but it's probably not.
We are perfectly respectable all the time.
Yes. Yes.
And also, yes, sometimes vulgar.
I wish we would have gotten maybe a little bit more of a snippet of what that conversation was like without Caitlin in the room, because I imagine it was a lot funnier than what I picture it being.
This is the one that's going to come up at parties. This is the one that's going to... You know, up until this point, Richard is like, dude, you're never going to fucking believe what happened to me this week.
Right. Yeah. I can picture them like standing in front of a fire, going back and forth, laughing their asses off while they're talking about this story. And I don't know. It gives me a warm fuzzy for the first time in a couple chapters. So I liked that.
And finally, Caitlin returns wearing her traveling clothes.
Traveling clothes. So now they're able to better sneak around with the so-called mother confessor. Yes. And Chase asks Richard what he can do to help. How can he, progress the mission, whatever mission they are on? And Richard says, you can tell me where the pass is, dude.
He totally Glomars Richard in this point. A Glomar response is, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right.
So when Richard's like, tell me about the past, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He says, you know what? I will only take you to this so-called pass if you let me bring you there. And Richard, at first, he doesn't want to do it. He's like, no, you have kids. You already risk your life a lot. But Chase is pretty fucking determined. He's not going to tell him anything unless he says he can go. Because Richard doesn't know what he's getting into.
Right. And Richard is also determined to go.
Right.
He told Chase that. I know there's a pass. I'm going to find it. You're going to save me time basically finding it, is what he's telling him.
Right. And you just pledged your life, so maybe you could just give me some info instead?
Right. Seems like a fair trade.
Richard says, fine. You can come with us. And Chase tells him the pass is called King's Port. We all need to go to sleep. You guys need to go to sleep. Me and Emma will stay up. We'll make some packs, and we'll head out in the morning. And that's kind of where things get buttoned up.
Yeah, that's the end of this chapter.
If you're interested in continuing the conversation, letting us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what we got wrong, you can go ahead and get a hold of us at podcastatt@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at podcastatt, or all the things. And you can find us on Instagram at podcastatt as well. It's all the same.
That's right. And if you guys wanted to help support the show, you could always go to patreon.com/podcastatt and become a patron. Or you could give us a review on your favorite podcast app. It helps us out, and it helps other people like you find shows like this one.
Great. See you next week.
We'll see you guys real soon.